Hello everybody, welcome back to a brand new video. So if you're wondering why I'm making a video about Scream in the middle of July, it's because this is the first time I've ever gone through the whole series, and I'm so excited because I've been always like scared to watch horror movies. I would always say it's my least favorite genre, but I've been slowly dipping my toes into the genre and I have not been disappointed yet. And I will say Scream is one of those movies that the entire series is good to start out if you want to get into horror, but you don't really know, because it does balance out the horror and comedy, I find, which is so perfect for me, and I love it so much. So I will be giving my ranking of all 6 movies. I was kind of debating whether I should do all 6 or just like the major 4, because 5 and 6 are kind of like spin-offs or reboots or whatever you want to call it, so it doesn't feel as canon. But I decided, why not throw 5 and 6. But I will say 5 and 6 do rank in the lower one, just because they do feel so different from the franchise. So, but I still like them, honestly, but I have to rank 5 and 6 somewhere, you know. So let's get started with my review. So coming in at last place, we have the newest Scream, which is Scream 6. So basically it follows the sisters as they move out of town to New York City to escape Ghostface. But Ghostface ends up following them, and they have to try to figure out what's going on, and who is it. Like, I love it. Like, it's basically, I find the Scream franchise is basically like Scooby-Doo, but for adults, which is so fun. So number 6, it's last because I did find it a little bit more slower than 5, honestly. Especially the subway scene was so boring. It felt like it dragged on so long. And plus, this movie is the longest out of the franchise, so it does kind of make sense why it did feel a little slow. But I gotta say, like, the Ghostface reveal was excellent. I love that. They try to frame Kirby, and I will talk more about that in my ranking for Ghostface, because I do want to not only rank the movies in this video, but I'm also going to be ranking the Ghostface killers, and I'll have to Google them because probably like a bunch of them I forget, just because the movies go by like so fast when you're watching them. And like, I watched the first one night, the second one the next night, and then I watched 3 and 4 the night after that, and then 5 and 6 the night after that. So I kind of watched like a couple of them back to back, just because I wanted to make this video and I wanted to get through the franchise. Coming in at number 5 is the 5th one. So basically this is a reboot of the first one. It does feel like 1 and 4 together, especially with Ghostface, which I'll talk about more in that video, but it does kind of follow. Sydney's in this one. I forgot to mention she's not in the 6th one, so it does kind of catch up with her, and it kind of catches up with Gale too. But yeah, number 5, it is ranked lower because, like I said, it's the newer generation is more into it. Like Sydney and Gale and Dewey were kind of more like in the background, so that's kind of what I didn't like about it. But I did like the friend group, honestly. But the killer reveal wasn't that all that great, I find, and I'll say why here soon. Okay, the next one is number 2. Number 2 follows Sydney after at college, and Sarah Michelle Gellar is in it, and I was so sad that they killed her off so early in the movie, because she also died in I Know What You Did Last Summer, and it's like, can she just not live in one of them? Like, that's so unfair. But oh my gosh, when we get to the killer Ghostface reveal in this one, I love it so much. Next one we have is number 3. Number 3 kind of follows them where they're making the movie, and like, I am going to post the funniest clip from the movie in this. I replayed it like 20 times because it made me laugh so much.
My movie. And it's called Sarah Gets Skewered Like a Fucking Pig.
Ghostface is actually pretty funny on some of the calls he does. It's just like, oh my gosh. Okay, next one we got is number 4. This one was kind of the one after 1. It was the one I was most excited for because I'm a huge fan of Emma Roberts and she's amazing in this movie. I did know going into this that she was one of the killers because obviously I I've seen memes about it, and I've seen videos, especially the one where she runs into the glass window, but I didn't know why she'd done that, but I do know now why. At number 1, we got the first Scream, and I put it here because this is the original, and it did feel so much fun to watch. I've seen the opening with Drew Barrymore so many times, so I knew about that. And also, I've seen the Scary Movie franchise so many times too, so this kind of felt like watching the first Scary Movie, because Scary Movie 1 does mainly parody the first Scream, so I kind of knew a bunch of stuff that was gonna happen, but it was kind of nice to see it all play out, which I loved. And now we're gonna get into the ghost face reveals. So I am going to have to Google the ghost faces of some of these, because I just don't remember the names, honestly. I'm actually Googling the first one I have to talk about because I forget the names. My least favorite ghost face reveal was number 5, and it was Sam's boyfriend, Richie, and Amber. Okay, so the reason why they are in last place is because I did find that it was mimicking 1 and 4, especially number 1 with it being in the friend group. So like I kind of knew it was going to be someone in the friend group, but just didn't know who. And then for 4, why I say it's like number 4 is because they say that they did it because they want to be famous and blah 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 blah, but like their reveal just wasn't as good to me. I did like the final act. I do find the Scream franchise, they always come through with the final act of the movie, but like for them, I was just like, like it was still good, but I was like, out of all of these, like I kind of wish it was like a little bit more original, honestly, or maybe having a better motive, in my opinion. But you know, I don't know if I would have predicted them, to be honest. I don't even know if I predicted anyone. I mean, with Scream, like anybody can be Ghostface, so it's like so hard to like pinpoint like which one will be Ghostface. So yeah, Ghostface reveal number 5 comes in at last place. Okay, so the next one we have is number 6. It's so funny because like the movies are flopped around, but like the Ghostface reveal is just much better. This one is Detective Bailey, Ethan, and Quinn. And like I wasn't expecting Quinn because like she kind of like died, but like I guess it was a fake out. And like the detective too, I wasn't kind of like, you know, like he just kind of didn't give it off to me, because like he was like trying to help him through it all. And then like they tried to frame Kirby, which I mentioned earlier, but I kind of was hoping it was Kirby because I feel like that could have been interesting. But I did like the Ghostface reveal on this, and like, wow, like it was so good, honestly. You weren't really expecting it. Like, okay, when I first watched it, like at the beginning, like I was like, wait, they're not gonna tell us who Ghostface is like at the beginning of the movie, are they? Like it would be like a different term, but like it's so much better when you find out in the 3rd act of the movie. I forget his name, but basically they're out trying to kill because the detective is the son of one of the murderer from 5. Yeah. Okay, number 4. I'm going to give it to Scream 3, and that is, oh my gosh, I gotta Google him. Okay, Roman Bridges is the killer in number 3, and it turns out he is Sydney's brother. Okay, yeah, he was Sydney's brother. This one I was kind of like, you know, like I didn't care that much, to be honest. I did love the 3rd act, but I don't know, like him being Sydney's brother, I was like, okay, like I kind of wish it was a bit more original. But I still think it was a good reveal, because even Sydney herself was shocked too, because I don't think she even knew she had a brother. But the final act was really good, honestly. Like I said, they're all good final acts. Like, oh my gosh. Coming in at number 3 is Billy and Stu. And the reason why it's not higher, because like I said, I've seen the Scary Movie so many times, so I knew it was gonna be them. But I just love their characters so much. Matthew Lillard, who plays Stu, is just so friggin' hilarious in the movie. And honestly, he could be alive because we don't know that he fully died, honestly. We know that Billy is 100% dead, but we don't know Stu is. So that could be interesting for Scream 7, maybe. I don't know. Coming in number 2 is the 4th movie. And Emma Roberts is the killer. And Charlie is the other Ghostface. So I knew going into this, like I said, because I'm a huge Emma Roberts fan, and I knew, but I didn't really know why. But I did think this was a more better Ghostface reveal than a lot of the other ones, because it was Sydney's relation. And like at the first, like you think she's like, oh, this sweet little quiet girl, but it turns out she wants the fame too. But which I know I dissed about 5, but I do think this one was more better because she wanted to make look like she was like Sydney, like she was the victim, but really she wasn't. Like she ran into that fake glass and she tried to hurt herself, and she shot her boyfriend, and then she like kind of grabbed his hand and like scratched her face up and like pulled out some of her hair, and like she even stabbed herself, and like, oh my gosh. And then like that hospital scene too, which I really love. It's so good.
You just won't die, will you? Who are you? Michael fucking Myers?
Honestly, that's probably like one of my favorite acts of the movie. I think this one will probably be my most rewatched one when I do buy the movies on DVD. I think I'm gonna order them soon, hopefully. I love it so much. Okay, so number 1, if you haven't guessed it already, it's number 2. Ghostface from number 2. I gotta look this up. Oh yeah, his name's Mickey. I kind of forget him in the movie. But what I love about this is that, and this is why this is my favorite one, is because he comes in and he's like, oh, well, I couldn't have done this alone, or I've had some help. So you see Gail walk out and you're like, oh my gosh, maybe she's Ghostface, because I was kind of waiting on her to become Ghostface at some point, but she hasn't already. But then that reporter lady who's trying to copy Gail and everything, played by the iconic Laurie Metcalf, like she walks in with a gun, and like she is so good at playing crazy characters, especially since she played one in Desperate Housewives. But this Scream 2 is obviously before Desperate Housewives. But like, and it turns out she's actually Billy's mother, which is why she is Ghostface. I was not ready for that, honestly. Like I thought like maybe Mickey was his mother, but it turns out it was Billy's mother, which, oh my gosh, I just love. That's the best Ghostface reveal in my opinion. I was not expecting that whatsoever. And she actually went by a different name in the movie. I should have came more prepared. Okay, so she went by Debbie Salt as like the reporter lady. But then it turns out her name is actually Nancy Loomis. But I did find it weird that Sydney never met Billy's mom, not unless they were like kind of new at dating or something, and she just never got to meet her. I don't know how that worked. I don't even know if they acknowledged it in the movie. I don't think they did, as far as I know. But yeah, that's my that's my Ghostface reveal ranking, and that's my mini reveal ranking on the franchise. So let me know what you guys think. I would love to know your guys' ranking down in the comments below. And yeah, let's talk about Scream. And I will see you in my next video, and have a good day. Bye.